My top 10 favorite NBA players of all time. Um, this topic was requested um, from somebody who wanted to know some of it's my favorite players of all time. So I created a list of my favorite my favorite players of all time, and no specific order on this. Just a list of my top 10 favorite guys. So we're gonna start off with Allen Iverson, the answer. Um, yeah, just and when I my favorite this the criteria for this list is is based off of skill set, style of play, and then the persona. Um, and so, like I said, Allen Iverson, um, just his relentlessness on the court, just kind of like you know he was kind of like the first person with that kind of like uh, what's this fall down 8 times, get up nine. Like he was always a player that was like would get to the rim or attack the rim. Even you know the centers would foul him, and he would go through all kinds of he put his body on the line every time he would get to the rim, and he would usually finish, but he would take a lot of hard hits getting to the rim, and just his obviously the handles and the creativity that he had, dribbling the ball, and his just his swag, man. That's probably you know the one thing I think you know people like myself and many others who are fans of Allen Iverson um, appreciate the most of him is just his swagger, how he his persona, how he carried himself, how he dressed, um, just his ability to just be who he was in a time where it wasn't quote unquote cool, or wasn't accepted, so to speak, for you know by league standards, so to speak. But you know people over time kind of like um, gravitated toward his style and how he expressed himself. But just his relentlessness, ability to score, his style, his swagger on the court, just was very very influential to me as a fan. So yeah, Allen Iverson, then Michael Jordan, uh, who's Allen Iverson's favorite player, but of all time, my favorite player of all time too. But Michael Jordan, just you know, just the iconic aspect of who he was, and uh, you know, same, his persona, how he carried himself, really just had like a killer instinct when he was playing. Uh, just his ability to just dunk on cats, his hops, uh, finish around the rim, uh, his scoring ability, just his efficiency, you know, being able to um, score with very very efficiently. You know what I'm saying? Didn't need too many dribbles to score the basketball. Um, and I think you know his footwork. We have one of the best footworks in terms of how he plays, especially in the post, mid range. He beat a lot of guys with just having great footwork. Um, and just again the brand, the Jordan Air Jordan shoes, to this day I'm big fan of the retro Jordans, um, to be specific, 1 to 14, uh, and yeah, just his will to win was probably my one aspect I really appreciated from Jordan. Just his aspect of just willing himself to victory, regardless of the scenario. So yeah, Michael Jordan, then Kobe Bryant, the late great Kobe Bryant, rest in peace. Um, Very similar to Michael Jordan, just with the killer instinct, uh, super extreme work ethic. Um, just his work ethic was just one of the, it's probably the one thing that, when most people talk about Kobe, just how much he worked hard at his craft and put the time in to, get better and improve his game. Um, Very similar to Michael Jordan, and having the great footwork, uh, can score anywhere. He bit, um, I'll say he was a better 3-point shooter than Jordan. Um, but yeah, like his whole uh, Mamba mentality, just getting after it, like you know, only accepting greatness and the best. You know what I'm saying? Just something I can, in my personal opinion, can relate to. Obviously, uh, the brand, his persona, all of that. Like I said, plays factor. Um, so yeah, Kobe Bryant, and then also got to go LeBron James. Um, you know, just class act. Just been a great example on and off the court. Um, it's almost like as great as he is on the court, it very much so translates off the court. He's a guy that you know been playing 21 years, really has never had any like off the court issues or any type of situation that, not to say that if you're guy player you had some kind of situation that you're just bad or whatever, but just considering the fact 21 years never had any having any real off the court issues or anything. um just kind of shows you know I'm somebody who's definitely learned in my time playing basketball, like your off the court things does translate on the court, and so you can just see the greatness in that aspect. His durability, uh, is obviously a major thing. Only had about maybe like really one major injury, maybe two type thing. The work ethic. I think it was Kevin Love. I believe he had mentioned. I think the thing that he had said that was really separated LeBron from most guys was the fact that he could you know put in all this work and then just repeat it the next day, same thing, do the same cycle the next day, same thing, same thing, same thing, same thing. Just that work ethic. um what I'm saying, it definitely something that me personally I can definitely relate to, connect to. um and then obviously just his style of play, to me, the between him and Magic, best passes of all time. Basketball IQ, probably the greatest. Um, basketball IQ of all time. Um, just to stop the dunking and all of that type stuff, the leadership, just being a guy that, um, if respects, treats all the guys around him well. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like having handshakes with all the players on the team. Not a guy who, as great as he is, always been the best player for the most part his whole career. Never been like a diva type guy who's like gonna treat, I guess, the last man on the bench bad because he's, not playing. You got people like that who always try to like, you know, disrespect or downplay or just like devalue, guys who may have quote unquote lesser roles on the team. He kind of treats everybody well. I think that's a major thing for me, and that's something I really really like a lot like about LeBron in that aspect because you know being as great as he is, he doesn't necessarily have to always be more most cases they try to say like if you're the star player you don't have to you can just act like you're just better than everybody and he don't um he doesn't act like that. So I think that's major for me. And just yeah, man, just overall just major fan. Uh LeBron. And then next I gotta go Kyrie. Um yeah, just his old um what you want his bag, just his bag of tricks and how he dribbles and uh you know finishing around the rim like just always been a major fan. It's always exciting to see Kyrie play basketball. Um, a guy that, in my opinion, is always kind of quote unquote misunderstood. Just I think very similar to me in the way he's a very thought provoking, uh, you know, kind of guy. Just may have viewpoints that just may be just different from most, so to speak. Um, and definitely can relate to that in a lot of ways. But uh, I just think that he's a he not net, I don't I don't know him on a personal level. It would be cool too, but um, it'd be I just think he comes off like a good dude, so to speak. Like he doesn't, what I'm saying? To me, I think he comes off like a good dude and somebody who is a caring dude. A guy that contributes to the community and his community and people all around the world. Seen many times he's donated and done stuff for the community. And I think it doesn't get credit because some kind of little thing that people the media always likes to uh, try to create certain perceptions about you or that to make you look bad or whatever type of things. So I think that I gotta for me I'm gonna acknowledge that. Um, and yeah, man, just his competitive nature. He goes out there, he competes at a high level, not afraid of the moment. You know, he's willing to take that big shot when need be. And so to me, that's a great thing. Then next, I gotta go Kevin Durant. Um, just a big fan of his game, his whole career. Uh, you know, dating back to I was aware he he went to Montrose Christian, which is a school in Rockville, and that's when I became aware of who he was. And then obviously he went to Texas and probably had the debatably the greatest greatest season for a college player ever. Just destroyed, but just seeing his evolution going to Oklahoma City, really Seattle Supersonics for 1 year, then translate to Oklahoma City, and then going to the Warriors and Brooklyn, and now he's at Phoenix. Seeing his evolution as a player has been fun to watch for me. Uh, he's another guy who has a great footwork. Um, can score anywhere on the on the court. Um, really no stopping KD. And when it comes to scoring the basketball, and just seeing he's a guy that really loves the game of basketball, similar to myself, and I definitely can connect and relate to that because I'm somebody who just loves the game of basketball, like just loves the game of basketball. So I definitely relate to that. So yeah, KD. Then next I gotta go Dwayne Wade. uh, his ability to get to the rim, finish, his quickness, his style of play. Underrated handles in my opinion. Dwayne Wade is a guy who really had some dope handles. Um, a great team player, guy who was about the team, wanted to win, not a selfish player. Miami, he was able to uh, kind of do what was best for the team and allow LeBron to slowly develop into that leader that we all know and see today. He actually helped him into that role, but he knew that LeBron was the best player, and he knew that in order for them to win the championship, LeBron was going to have to be the guy that was going to pretty much lead them to the way, and so kind of see that D Wade was just like a very, very, very much so a team player. Um, I think you know I used growing up I just used to love watching him and Kobe go at it. Those battles was always good to me, and seeing how um, D Wade would he answered the bell, he answered the call when those battles came. With him and Kobe, D Wade used to do his thing. Um, and like his persona, his style, his skill set, great defensive player. So yeah, D Wade. Then I gotta go Russell Westbrook. Um, you know, another guy just that's relentless. He goes hard each and every play. Um, you know, the media wants to paint a narrative. He's like a selfish player. Far from it. He's a guy who's we've seen in the Lakers make some sacrifices. Now he's with the Clippers making some sacrifices. So you see that Russell Westbrook is a team player. Um, likes to get his guys involved. Um, I I don't agree with the stat chasing narrative that they try to throw at him. I think he's just a guy that just goes and plays hard, and the stats just come with it. Um, and so, big fan of Russell Westbrook. Hope he can win a championship before he ends his career. So yeah, Russ. Then Steph Curry, um, greatest 3-point shooter, greatest shooter of all time. Um, Skill set, just A1. A guy that, in my opinion, was a late bloomer, so to speak, and developed his way and, got better, proved a lot of naysayers wrong. Um, I definitely can just connect just his story and just his personality. A lot of people think just because, you're just like a relatively reserved, cool kind of guy that you're like soft or something, or you're like weak. And that's like the furthest thing from the truth. Like, and so, um, he's definitely a super competitor because I've, seen him play and how he, plays, throughout his career. Definitely a super competitor when it's time to get in between the lines. But very, very, very good guy, you know, family guy and all that. Um, and, to me, seeing him still play at a high level at 35 years old is phenomenal. So, yeah, Steph Curry. Then lastly, I got to go with Dame Dollar, Dame Lillard. Um, Man, when we talk about as a guard, I don't think there's been a player with the total package in terms of his scoring ability than Dame Lillard. I think he for in terms of the total package, like his ability to score the basketball from his position at his height. I think he might be the greatest. In terms of with the Trailblazers uh, doing, you know, just being a very, loyal guy to that franchise. Um, Likely to go down as probably the greatest player from that franchise, in my personal opinion. Um, his ability to, get to the rim, you know, shoot the deep ball, uh, beat you off the dribble, um, dunk on you, all of that. Like it's just great. And then just his persona is just like very. I feel like we have a similar kind of personality and just like laid back and chill type of guy. Doesn't really get into too much kind of like drama or stuff like that. Just you know handles his business. Obviously, he raps. He's he's a big hip hopper, very much so like me, and so I definitely can just relate to that. And he also is a guy who was a late bloomer, as so to speak, not highly touted, so to speak, coming out of college and even high school. Um, well, coming out of high school really, because coming out of college, he was what the sixth pick in the draft. But coming out of high school wasn't highly touted, and you know still worked on his game, developed his game, developed as a player, didn't allow the politics and stuff like that to, quote unquote, keep him down. And so he overcame. So, you know, I very much so can relate to that. And yeah, that just concludes my list of my personal favorite NBA top 10 players of all time.